Well, welcome back to this week's Bailey's Built. I've been on break for a little while, a lot going on. We moved to a whole new home, and also we picked up an EV. So we've got an all new series of Bailey Built Gone Hummer Edition that starts right now. All right, well, the all new 2025 Hummer EV is massive. This is a truck edition. It comes in both a truck and SUV. For my purposes, I wanted the pickup, and this thing is massive. So come on, let's take a look at what's going on here. We'll start off with a couple different options they have. Up front, you'll see the pennant there, the badge for the 2X model. Now the Hummer EV pickup comes in either a 2 or 3 motored option there, with 1 motor in the front set of the wheels, and there's 2 separate motors in the back for the 3 motor vehicle. This one is just the double. It works great. Range is roughly around 300 plus miles, about 3 to 320. And of course, as you can see inside, it looks pretty sleek. In the front seat, you get a chance to see all the user controls here up front. There's a parking brake here. Next to that, you have the Frunk opening. You also have a automated tailgate opening. All windows, you can click all 4 windows down at the same time. They do have some other driver assist features that we'll talk about in future videos. And then there is the plug for your power, the power activation switch. That will activate the plug that's in your truck bed. All right, so inside the seat of the brand new Hummer EV, it's a pretty massive pickup. It feels like a Hummer. It's very wide, of course. Sitting in an H1 before, I'll tell you, it feels very similar as far as the spacing goes. It's very big, it's very boxy, and of course, for me, that's what I loved about it. When you take a look at the dash, we'll go ahead and power and turn it on. You'll notice it's an electric vehicle. There's not a lot to hear. There's not engine noise, remember. Looking at the dashboard, it's all video. It's got 2 different video zones there. The one is your traditional area where your gauges are gonna be. That's gonna be a variety of different options you have to be able to switch on, from the speedometer to tying into your music. Of course, the main dash unit here is pretty sweet. It's a massive infotainment center with multiple options, starting off with your tow option up top, which takes you to a variety of different tow settings you have. You get a chance to look at what's going on with your driver settings, including your drift and your pressure from your tires. We'll cover more of this kind of in subsequent videos. One thing I do love about this video is the camera system, and the dual zone cameras are pretty amazing. You've got a wide variety of settings to go through, including your trunk cam, you got your hood cam, rear backup cameras as well. And then, of course, you can head down to all the different drive modes, which you have as well. You get a chance to look at that, and your music. You can go through a kind of a variety of your typical presets that typically come with this. One of the other things I love about this setup is the buttons. Yes, it does have a lot of screen here, but it's got physical buttons to be able to go through it. Want to turn the temperature up? There's a button for that. Your air conditioning, your heat, buttons for those. Your fan level, if you want to crank it up or turn it down, there's a physical button, so you're not dependent just on the touch screen, and that's going to work for both zones there as well. You do have your parking assist down here below, and your emergency lights, so you can use your hazard lights when needed. Also, one of the other cool things about this, heated steering. So yes, this steering wheel, of course, goes into a heated mode when you crank it up and it's a little cold outside. That comes on automatically at startup, and of course you can go ahead and turn that off. One of the other things I do love about this vehicle is I'm kind of old school. I like to have the shifter. And so for the Hummer EV, they brought back the shifter for it. Not only do you get a chance to take it, push the button to put it in park, you just simply clamp it down, shift it forward to put you in reverse mode, and then hit the side button, depress that, and then you shift it back down to put you in drive mode. And for park, simply punch the P, and now you're back to a full stop. Okay, so in addition to the regular shifter that we talked a little bit about, you also have your different various modes you can shift in for your wheelbase and your travel height. So simply take it, rotate the mode, and then as you look up at the screen, you'll see you have the option to shift into my mode, which I have normally. You can shift over into normal, a tow haul, which of course they're towing. Of course, the spaceship, that's pretty impressive there. And then we shift over into all-terrain mode. And they've got a couple different off-road modes for you. This vehicle is meant to be able to be used in a variety of different settings there. And so you have a chance to roll through those. Also, you can do an adjustment for your height. Now we'll shift over here to the off-road mode. It looks like we're driving on Mars. And you come back down to of course, the controller, it gives you a chance to be able to shift the height of your vehicle. All right, the back cabin's pretty spacious. I was able to actually sit in there myself with some good leg room. Take a look at it. It's got some pretty nice tactile material. It feels good, cleans off easily. And then you'll notice the center control actually has heat and air control just for the back seat. They also have a cool little storage pocket there as well. All right, so we're back out here, of course, outside the Hummer. I want to give you a look around at some of the very cool features it has. Keep in mind, the Hummer EV is all electric. There is no motor. So when you come to the remote, you double click on opening up what would typically be the hood where the motor sits at. Well, for this one, you're going to get additional storage. Take a look. Okay, so inside what we call the Frunk, of course, we have tie downs. For storage, you can tie things down in here. You've got your LED light underneath the hood as well. And then take a look at this. If you happen to get stuck or someone was to get stuck in here, there is a release button there to push and be able to release the trunk. You also, of course, have a 12-volt power socket there as well. So lots of cool stuff in here, lots of good storage. I can store equipment in there when I'm out working on the job. I can put it in there, and simply to close it, you just pull it back down until it touches, and then it takes over. It's got a nice soft close to it as well. All right, let's head back around the back. One of the things that GMC has been known for is this new multi 5-6-way tailgates that they have, and the Hummer's got one of those included as well. A pretty good sized trunk bed in here, but take a look at this. Of course, you got your traditional release here to bring down your bed. That's one option you have for you. Now, you may be looking at the bed and going, wow, it doesn't seem like it's as long. Well, it's got a second button here next to it. That second button you can press and be able to release yet another section of the tailgate. This is pretty cool when you have to kind of walk up, gives you a better chance to get out and reach what's in the back of your bed. The other thing that's really cool, it's not done yet. Of course, it's a multi-use tailgate, a multi-function tailgate. So say you want to climb up in there, but it's pretty high. In fact, the trunk bed height sits at about my waist, and I'm about 6'3", 6'4". So for a shorter person, of course, it'd be up a little higher. Not to worry, though. Take a look at this. We've got yet another release button here for another section of the actual tailgate. Simply push that down, and boom, there is a step. Pretty awesome if you're going to be out doing some tailgating. It gives you a nice place to kind of sit down as well. It's got the little spots where you can drop your cups at, and also a nice way to be able to just hang out. The other thing that's pretty cool about it is it makes it easy just to step up, and they're right in the back of the bed. And here you go. All right, so inside the bed, of course, it's got plenty of hooks for tie downs all around it. It's got, probably about 6 of these, it looks like. Also on the back of the bed, it's got LED lights, which are going to be great for being able to see when you're back out here and it's dark. The other thing about it, of course, it's got your traditional AC 120 volt plug outlet in the back as well. So if you need to plug something up, you just simply turn on the power inside the vehicle, and then that outlet, there is a switch to be able to turn that switch on, and you got full power right here in the back of your bed. It's pretty awesome. So I'll tell you, Hummer was big on the branding for this vehicle. They want you to know that you're driving a Hummer. They've even put it inside the headlights. LED headlights going right across the front. The other cool thing I noticed here in the last month that I've had it is these H's on the side are not only headlights, but they're actually charging indicators. So as you plug up your vehicle, you'll see a status of how charged the battery is here across the front on both your left and right side. Now, also on the front of this vehicle, skid plate, a pretty solid metal one. And how about these toe D-rings up front? These things are massive. This truck was built to be off-road or on-road here in the urban areas. I think it's going to work out great, and it's been a really fun driving experience so far. All right, so the other thing you'll notice, of course, you can see Hummer lit up in the lights, but there's also lights across the top there for you. And how about it for days where it's a little misty or rainy? Not one, not two, but 3 windshield wipers. All right, across the back of this truck, you'll notice also the H design very prominent in the tail lights. There's Hummer EV stretched right across the tailgate, and of course, more rear tailgate lights and also cameras there. So one of the other cool features this vehicle has, I showed you the cameras in the back of the top of the bed there. Here's why they have those. You can either have a traditional rear view mirror, or bam, how about an LED video right there in your rear view mirror. It's nice and lit. Even on a day like this where it's gloomy outside, it gives you a really cool feel and a nice look there of what's going on. So you could use a traditional mirror or the camera, and I think they both work out pretty well. So we got a chance to see the frunk and also the bed and all the features that come around it. But how about the batteries? We'll take a look here at the truck. The battery compartment stretches from in front of the door here, goes across the full length of the body all the way until you get to the splash guards that are back there in the back. That full battery bed there gives you over 300 miles worth of distance. We'll get a chance to talk more about the battery in future videos. Of course, with that, you won't have a spare tire underneath the vehicle because that is where the battery sits at, but they do make a spare tire itself and also railing and attachment for that fit in the bed. All in all, the first month driving this Hummer has been amazing. It's a big, bulky truck that feels like you're driving a Hummer, but it's also got a nice smooth air ride with it, and the suspension is really kind of second to none. It almost feels like driving a sports car. We've got a lot more to cover here over the coming weeks. It's new, it's an EV experience for us, and we hope that you enjoy the journey as well. Well, hey, if you like videos like this, go ahead and click that like button or smash subscribe so you can stay tuned with us on the latest as we have this EV journey on Bailey Built.